What is up, people? This is your boy Dedrian from House of Rasslin, and this is my review for the March 9th episode of AEW Dynamite. Like, share, comment, subscribe to House of Rasslin on all social media platforms. Follow me, Dedrian180, on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. Forgive me, guys, to all the subscribers. I did want to do a video on the AEW Revolution pay-per-view, but during the pay-per-view, I attempted to post a video that was sourced to AEW, and Facebook and Instagram decided to block me for 3 days. So I was trying to figure out that whole thing and make sure none of my accounts were permanently deleted or anything like that, but all is well. Everything's resolved, and I'm back. So forgive me, guys, for not having that review and everything. So it was just kind of a monkey wrench. I was like, okay, how am I going to... It's the whole thing, but nonetheless, I am here to give you my review for AEW Dynamite. And you know what? This show was overall good. There was a few things that I really kind of little need to tighten up and tweak it and everything. But other than that, it was a good night. A lot of firings and title changes and stuff like that, but we got the debut of a charismatic enigma. He's right there. Jeff Hardy, but I'll get into that later. But yeah, the night started off with Chris Jericho coming to the ring. He comes out, starts, talking about what happened at Revolution, and he wanted to shake Eddie Kingston's hand and, hey, let's do this. Eddie Kingston comes out. They're talking everything. Eddie Kingston gives this promo. He's like, the reason why I didn't give up and not quit before our fight or our match on Sunday is because of the Tribune article that I wrote a few months back, and people didn't give up because of that article. And as they're talking, 2.0's music hits with Daniel Garcia. They come to the ring. They attack both of them, and I'm going to use that quotation to attack, and they're really laying it in on Eddie Kingston. They're really laying it in. Jericho, he's selling his neck. He's like, oh, my neck hurts and everything. He's in the corner. So they're just beating up Eddie Kingston. Santana and Ortiz come in. They clean house and everything. They're out and everything. I believe it was Daniel Garcia, or maybe one of the members from 2.0. So Santana has one of the members from 2.0, one of his arms are back, behind his back. Jericho has the bat, and it's like, oh, he's gonna hit this guy, and he doesn't hit the member of 2.0. He hits Santana, and then he hits Ortiz, and you get this whole beatdown with Jericho, 2.0, and Daniel Garcia. Out comes Jake Hager. He's just, oh my God, what's going on? Oh man, what is this gonna do? And he clotheslines Santana over the ropes. So now you have a faction of Chris Jericho, 2.0, Daniel Garcia, and Jake Hager, and they are known as Jericho Appreciation Society. Jazz. Wait, hold on. Jazz. Yep. Jericho Appreciation Society. Oh, God. That's corny name. I liked it because it brought a closure to the Santana Ortiz Jericho Inner Circle thing. So basically, the Inner Circle is no more. Yes. Thank God. I am happy about that. About time. That should have happened months ago, but nonetheless, it finally happened. It's interesting to see where this is going to go with Santana Ortiz and Eddie Kingston. Of course, LAX. Man, I remember a few weeks ago, someone mentioned that 2.0 actually fit. Like, they fit with Chris Jericho. Just their sense of humor, their mannerism, like they fit more than Santana Ortiz and Sammy Guevara. And lo and behold, someone in AEW is listening to the fans and just sound criticism as far as where guys should match and everything. From there, we get a recap of Cm Punk and MJF. That match, I enjoyed that match because it was a fight. It was a fight. They laid into each other. Plus, you got the Wardlow face turn. So that's what was cool about it. He's like, oh, wait, I don't have the ring, MJF. MJF gets knocked out. CM Punk. Wait, oh, here you go, CM Punk. That was dope. I loved it. Then we have the Dante Martin Hangman Page match. I like this match. It was pretty solid. It really showed you Dante Martin's growth in AEW. That he knows when to change his levels, and that's something the mark of a really good wrestler is when they know how to change their levels. Like they know when to go fast, they know when to go slow, they know when to sell, they know when to come back. It's a good combination of everything. There's a really solid match. Of course, Hangman Page won. Kind of saw that. It's like, okay, we kind of know Dante Martin's not going to lose this, not going to win this match, but it is what it is. After the match, we had Dante Martin, Hangman Page. Basically, Hangman Page goes to Dante Martin. He's like, out of all the guys that I've wrestled, you're one of the toughest. I know your brother's back, but whenever you get a chance to get back in the ring with me, I will love to defend this title against you. That was really cool. But then you get Adam Cole coming out interrupting, and he's like, I almost beat you. I proved it on Sunday, and we're going to have a 6-man tag. I believe it was next week. So next week, it's going to be a 6-man tag between Adam Cole and his team. I'm going to get into that later. And Hangman Page and his 2 guys. So you have that set at the start of the show. This was a really cool segment. I wish things were a little bit more tighter as far as the transition from Hangman Page winning to congratulating and putting over Dante Martin and then Adam Cole. Those are one of the things that I really AEW that I'm noticing that they need to tighten up on. That there needs to be more fluidity with the transitions, because it does come across like you don't want dead air where people are just standing there looking around and you're just, okay, am I supposed to talk? You're supposed to talk. Like, I wish there was more. They tighten it up. From there, we have Bryan Danielson and John Moxley with William Regal. Yes, William Regal, who was formerly in NXT, the NXT general manager. He is in All Elite. I love that. And after this match, he gave a wonderful promo. Bryan Danielson and John Moxley, they fought against JD Drake and Anthony Henry, the Horse Workers. I like that name. JD Drake, ever since they kind of took him out of the Wingman and they have who he is on the Independents. Great call, AEW. Bryan Danielson and John Moxley win by submission. William Regal, he really gave this really heartfelt gratitude and appreciation for what Tony Schiavone did for him 20 plus years ago. You could see William Regal was like tearing up and everything. That was a really cool moment that I liked it because it gave William Regal a chance to do something that normally he probably wouldn't have never had to do in WWE, but in AEW, things are more, those things are free in professional wrestling. And I really like that. He gets down to the promo of Moxley and Bryan Danielson. He's basically saying what pretty much led him here was Bryan Danielson mentioning William Regal's name a few weeks ago on AEW television. He didn't want to pretty much anything to do with pro wrestling, but that's what brought him back. And he gives this warning. You either step up or you get stepped on. I love that line, and it fits Bryan Danielson and John Moxley. I really want to know where this is going to go. It's going to be interesting how this goes, because AEW in since last Dynamite, Rampage, Revolution, and now, they have so many changes as far as heel turns, additions, and there's a movement, as I said a couple weeks ago on one of my reviews, that there's this transition that's happening in AEW, and it's a pretty cool transition. I like it, but it's going to be interesting what's going to happen in the weeks ahead, of course, with the New Japan thing. And then, of course, Tony Khan purchasing Ring of Honor, how that's going to factor into the AEW storylines and just how that's going to break off. So there's something interesting with that. After that, you had a backstage segment with the Dark Order and Hangman Page, and John Silver and the rest of those guys are asking, "Hey, who are you gonna have as a partner?" And Hangman Page, he apologizes for blowing them off and everything, and he's like, kind of like, "Damn, I'm sorry, guys. I would have chose you, but I ran into Jurassic Express, and they want to get their hands on the Bucks and Red Dragon. So sorry, guys." So Hangman Page chose the Jurassic Express, Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus to be on his team, and then later on in the show we get Adam Cole choosing his side. So from there we get a Willer Yuta and Pac match. Great showcase for Pac. This was pretty much, you could say, a squash match almost. Pac looked good and everything. Pac wins. And then after that, we get a backstage segment of Adam Cole with the Young Bucks and Redragon. And it's funny the interaction that Redragon has with the Young Bucks. It's comedic, snarky, and condescending and sarcastic. And they go back and forth. And I really like, me personally, I'm enjoying the snarky, sarcastic side of Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish. Bobby Fish is freaking hilarious, man. That guy is saying some one-liners, and his responses are so comedic and so entertaining. I'm like, man, this is funny. So Cole is answering, typical, "Hey, Brandon, are we on? All right." He starts talking, and he's like, "You know what? I know who I chose, and it's tough. And, man, I don't know what it is." And before he could choose, the Young Bucks are like, "You know what? We're not going to fight Hangman." Like, nope, we're not. If it's Hangman, nope, we're not doing it. And Adam Cole looks at him. He's like, "Well, I didn't choose you guys. I didn't choose you guys. I already chose Redragon." And it's like, "Oh." And they say a few words and everything, but that was really cool. So next week, we're going to get Adam Cole with Redragon versus Hangman Page and Jurassic Express. That's a really interesting combo with Jurassic Express and Hangman Page. I really want to know how that dynamic is going to tie in to. I don't think they ever. Maybe those three guys team together in like previous Dynamites. Maybe when they were at Daly's place during the pandemic. But maybe, I don't know. But that's going to be interesting. That's going to be a fun tag team match. But I know for a fact, and everyone's been saying it, and you guys who are subscribers, you guys probably see it, AEW is eventually going to introduce the Trios title. You see it. It's inevitable. From there, you have FTR, and they're with Tully Blanchard. And again, this is like the night of firings. So FTR is talking about how they want to get their hands on the Bucks. And, Dash Hardwood. Dax Hardwood, forgive me. Dax Hardwood, he's talking about how he wants to fight for his family. He wants his hands on the Bucks, and Redragon wants to get this. And Tully Blanchard grabs like, "Hey, this is about the world titles, and this is what we do." And Dax Hardwood cuts him off, and he's like, "You know what? We've listened to you. All right, that's enough. You're fired." FTR fires Tully Blanchard. So where does this go? Is Tully Blanchard going to bring in the Briscoes to fight against the FTR? What's the dynamic going to happen here? It's going to be very interesting how this plays out. So apparently the Pinnacle is fractured because you got Wardlow gone. You got FTR firing Tully Blanchard. So what's going on here? Or I didn't think about this. Are FTR gonna go with Arn Anderson? And this is going to be interesting. interesting. Look out. So after this, you have the Hardy family office meeting, and you have Andrade face to face with Matt Hardy. Behind Matt Hardy is Private Party. To his right, you have the Butcher and the Blade, and then to Andrade's right, you have his assistant. So he's basically saying, you know what? You look at you. You're a slob. You don't need Where's your suit? Where's this? Where's that? And Matt Hardy's like, how are you gonna kick me out of my group that I started? This doesn't make any sense. How are you gonna kick me out? So on and so on. And he's like, you know what? Matt Hardy's like, give a vote, because I know my guys would never vote against me. So Andrade gives a thumbs down. His assistant, thumbs down. Butcher and the Blade, thumbs down. The Private Party, they have their thumbs like this, and then down. All of a sudden, all those guys are beating the hell out of Matt Hardy. They're just beating up. Andrade has this the chair in Matt Hardy's throat, and he's just, they're beating him up. Mind you, all this time, no one's coming to save him, which is hilarious. And then you get Darby Allin's music. Him and Sting are coming to the ring, and they're just taking their time. It's funny, but they're taking their time. So Sting and Darby Allin come in. They're just beating up everybody. And then the crowd is amped. They're like, okay, where is he? Where is he? We know he's here. Come on. And music hits. And the music that hit was the Hardy Boys music from WWF. Mind you, WWF did not own the rights to this music. This music was license free. It was stock footage. We've seen it on Spike TV. You've seen it on various commercials, movies, everything. So it was public domain, so they could have, get it and purchase for their own personal view. So Jeff Hardy comes, and it's funny because his brother is getting the hell beat out of him. He has a chair on his neck for the longest time, and Jeff Hardy comes down doing this. He's running and doing this. He comes out. He just starts beating up people. He beats up the Blade, gets on the top turnbuckle, does a swanton bomb. It's a cool shot. You've probably seen on social media of Matt Hardy and his brother hugging each other, and it's like they reunite, and everyone's just like, finally, like, we've been waiting for this for about 2 years for the Hardy Boys to be in AEW. I like this. It's possibly one of their last runs as a tag team. Are we going to get Broken Matt and Brother Nero? Is Reba Hardy going to come? Like, this is so cool. This is so fun. The creativity, what I like about this is it opens up the creativity for them to involve people to be more creative, if that makes sense. Like, it's just going to elevate a lot of people. This is going to be fun. I like the dynamic towards the end of this where you had this subtle stare down between Jeff Hardy and Darby Allin. Ooh. And if you guys check my YouTube channel, I do have that as a dream match. Jeff Hardy versus Darby Allin. It's going to happen. I wish and I hope they have that match at a pay-per-view at Double or Nothing. Book Darby Allin versus Jeff Hardy, the past and the present. When Darby first came to AEW, there were so many similarities. People were drawing comparisons between Darby Allin and Jeff Hardy. They were enigmatic. They just had this grunge, like, so many similarities, and it's going to be so cool. But I am happy that they're here. Are we going to get Sting and Jeff Hardy revisiting some type of rivalry and referencing what happened at Turning Point and that whole issue? So it's going to be really cool how this plays out. But yeah, Jeff Hardy is all elite. So after that, we get a backstage segment with the new signee. I think we say that every week in AEW, new signee. Like, I think we've been saying it for like ever since Malachi. Actually, no, since last year when Big Show signed. So you get Shane Strickland, and he's talking to Tony Schiavone, and he's like, yeah, I'm going to have a match on AEW Rampage. And Tony Nese, yes, Tony Nese from NXT WWE, and I believe they did have a few matches in NXT and 205 Live, and Shane Strickland's like, hey, yeah, we're gonna renew what we're gonna get back to what we did on Friday. So yeah, AW Rampage, me and you, and yeah, I'm gonna beat your ass. I'm like, oh, like you have to watch this promo by Shane Strickland. Like this dude has so much charisma, and I can't wait for him to release that damn theme song that he has, because that theme song that Swerve Strickland, let me rephrase that, Swerve Strickland has is amazing. Like that thing, that bass, hearing it on Revolution, I'm just like, I was like, yeah, damn, that's hot. But yeah, so we're going to get Shane Strickland's debut match on Rampage against Tony Nese. That's going to be a solid match. I look forward to it. Let's see what happens. So after that, you get a promo from Wardlow. Really good promo. This guy sounds very articulate. He sounds really good. He impressed me. Like, whoa, this guy's got pretty good mic skills. And he's only going to get better. So he's basically saying that he's done with MJF. He's still under contract, but he doesn't give a crap. So more than likely, we're probably going to, forgive me guys, got something in my eye. We're probably going to get a Wardlow versus MJF match pretty soon. Probably, I wouldn't say the Battle of Belts, but on a Dynamite or Rampage. Wardlow wins. He's free. This was a really good promo. Again, his composure, his confidence, his demeanor, his manner, like this guy is going to be a superstar. Like AEW has a star in this guy. Very well spoken. And again, he's only going to get better. And that's what I liked about this. Is like, wow, this guy, he can talk. He can articulate. So we'll see what happens. Backstage, you get QT Marshall and Keith Lee. Keith Lee's like, hey, didn't you get your ass beat by Hook? So QT Marshall's trying to get Keith Lee to join him because he's like, yeah, we got common enemies. Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs, they beat you. And Hook, he beat me up. And he's like, no, I work alone. So QT, that's a whole nother dynamic that they're possibly teasing. Like, are we going to get, where's Keith Lee going to go? It's interesting dynamics, like this gray area. Like, is Keith Lee gonna join Team Taz, or is Hook gonna join? Like, it's QT Marshall, who's he gonna get on his side, and just that whole dynamic. It's interesting. Now, personally, I don't think Keith Lee's going to join Team Taz, but we'll see. But I know we're going to get a Powerhouse Hobbs Keith Lee match, which is going to be really good. I look forward to it. Or we're going to get a Ricky Starks versus Keith Lee match. And honestly, we might get Keith Lee winning the FTW Championship. That would be pretty cool. We get a tag match between the Acclaimed and Jurassic Express. This was a really solid match. Max Caster came out. Dude's getting better and better with these these bars and everything. They're funny. They're entertaining. I'm not going to repeat what he said. Just watch it. It's hilarious. I've always said that they remind me of a more modern, contemporary New Age Outlaws, almost like Billy Gunn and Road Dogg back in the day, except they actually are somewhat better than those guys. And by better, I mean they actually are more, they have more culture. There you go. That's what I'm going to say. They have more culture, and they're just more contemporary and just more into their sense of humor isn't how do I put it? His isn't one dimensional. Like they get pop culture and everything. But yeah, this was a really solid match. The Acclaimed, I'm telling you, they keep looking good in these tag matches. This year, I wouldn't be surprised if the Acclaimed get the tag titles. I mean, they've had pretty good showings, pretty good matches. They've come close. Tonight, it looked like, oh man, they might actually steal the titles. But Jurassic Express wins. they're doing a solid thing. They are doing really solid. Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus's work the past, man, I want to say ever since they won the titles, like they've had some really solid matches and a really solid tag team. I'm happy for them. Luchasaurus, I've been, a real critic of him in years past, but man, he's really improved his work. Still got some things to work on, but he's done some really good. Man, what is that? He's done pretty good in with his ring work and everything. It's been solid. It's been it doesn't he doesn't come across like he's rushing something. Like he's more calm in the ring. He's taking his time. Like things are more fluid, and his execution is more smoother. But I like what they're doing. But yeah, this match was really good. Jade Cargill, she gives another promo like, okay, who the hell is gonna beat me? Like I'm already beating ass. I'm beating their ass and whatever. Who else? I beat Tay Conti, whooped their ass. Who's next? Then we got a Thunder Rosa Layla Hirsch match. This match, I don't know. It's something weird happening with Thunder Rosa, Britt Baker, like their matches lately. Like I don't know if it's they're on autopilot or it's just something's not meshing. Like it's something's clunky and everything. Now, mind you, this match was it was decent and everything. Of course, with Layla Hirsch and Thunder Rosa, like it was. They're fighters and everything. I just wish they would have had a little bit more time. Towards the end of this match, it did come across like it was a little bit clunky. And mind you, this isn't to diss them or anything. It just didn't come across smoothly and just like, it's like, as a viewer, you want to get into it. And it was like certain parts you just, okay. Oh, okay, there you go. But no, it was a pretty solid match. I wish they would use more Layla Hirsch on TV because that girl can wrestle. Again, Layla Hirsch tried to use the turnbuckle like she did at Revolution. Red Velvet comes in to stop. She throws Layla Hirsch in. Thunder Rosa, she performs her finisher, pins Layla Hirsch, 1, 2, 3. She wins. Tony Schiavone from the announcers desk, so they didn't have him running all over. Man, that dude, his cardio game has to be 100, man, because that dude is always running around. So Tony Schiavone, he's speaking to Thunder Rosa. He tells her from Tony Khan, next week in San Antonio, you're going to get a world title match. You versus Britt Baker for the AEW World Championship in a steel cage in her hometown, San Antonio, Texas. That's going to be dope. I look forward to that match because it is going to be fire. I do anticipate Thunder Rosa winning this match. Let's see what happens, but I believe that's the first. Yes, that is the first women's match in a steel cage. I believe so. Those of you who watch this video, let me know if it's the first. Comment below what you think. But yeah, I believe it's the first AEW women's match in a steel cage. So that's pretty cool. And then we get to the main event. Sammy Guevara, Scorpio Sky. Sammy Guevara, man, I wish that guy would stop doing these crazy stunts because he did a 450 splash from the turnbuckle. Yeah, the turnbuckle on the outside to the table. And when he hit, it looked like his head hit the floor. He probably had a concussion or something. He was grabbing his ribs, but it looked like his head hit the floor, and I'm like, ooh, that's not good. But yeah, this was a weird match. Not so much for the participants in the match, but just the timing, just how everything was flowing. Like it was weird. Why would he use the table spot? And just a lot of weird things going on. I was like, okay, all right, Sammy Guevara's wild and crazy, but like the spots when he was wild and crazy, like really it didn't. I gotta watch it again, but at first glance, like it didn't make any sense. Like, okay, why are you grabbing a table if it's gonna put you, like, you're defending your title? Like, why would you put yourself in danger to defend your title? It's like, it was weird. Tay Conti came down and check on him and everything. Then lo and behold, Paige Van Zant comes out. She beats the crap out of Tay Conti. Mind you, Ethan Page and Dan Lambert are there. Sammy Guevara sees it. He's looking like, whoa, what the hell's going on here? Scorpio Sky does his finishing move. Aubrey Edwards, 1, 2, 3. Scorpio Sky is the new AEW TNT champion. And as he's celebrating, Paige Van Zandt grabs the contract. She signs it over Tay Conti. She is all elite. So there you have it. AEW Dynamites. You have Chris Jericho aligning himself with 2.0. Daniel Garcia. Jake Hager calling himself Jericho Appreciation Society. You have debut of Jeff Hardy. I'm trying to think of what else. You got the firing of Tully Blanchard. So yeah, you had all that on an episode of AEW Dynamite. It was a decent show. It was a decent show coming off of a really fantastic AEW pay-per-view. Again, I can't wait for AEW Rampage. This is fun. This is fun. Just the guys that are debuting, just how their things are lining up, and then with the acquisition of ROH, that Tony Khan bought Ring of Honor, how that's going to play out. Just all these different pieces and dynamics is really interesting. AEW, kudos to them for putting on a wrestling product and staying true to their storylines and not trying to hotshot anything to compete with WWE Road to WrestleMania season, and especially with the whole elephant in the room, Cody Rhodes and where he's going to go and stuff like that. The past 2.5 weeks, AEW's done pretty decent. The Rampages have been pretty good. The Dynamites, kind of. 2 weeks ago, Dynamite was kind of but for the most part, AEW has been pretty solid with their shows. But yeah, tonight, hey, if you got a chance, if you haven't seen it, I recommend you go pop it in, watch it. It's fun. That's my review for AEW Dynamite for March 9th. Like, share, subscribe, follow House of Wrestling on all social media platforms. Follow me, Dedrian180, on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. And yeah, Jeff Hardy is all elite. Tully Blanchard got fired. Chris Jericho has the Jericho Appreciation Society, which is a terrible name. I don't know. Maybe he did it he knew it was bad and he just chose it. But yeah, AEW is going to be interesting. Let's see what happens on Rampage with Shane Strickland. Swerve Strickland's debut against Tony Nese, and let's see what happens. But that is all. I am Dedrick Alone. Like I always say, stop fighting over wrestling. Just enjoy it. Man, you got all these companies. Enjoy wrestling, man. All right. Till next time.